In a couple of days, we're gonna be getting Assetto Corsa Evo Early Access. And in this video, I would like to talk about a bit of my expectations, what I expect from the early access version of the game, talking from the experience from the past, well, all the titles from the Kunos, and from the past couple of years playing Kunos racing games. So it has been confirmed that for Assetto Corsa Evo Early Access, there will be 5 tracks and 20 cars available, and it's gonna be only single player at the release on the 16th of January, where the finished game is supposed to release around fall of 2025. Now, important to say that the multiplayer and everything like a Nordschleife open world will be coming in phases, probably during the year. I think the open world for Nürburgring was announced for like summer 2025, and I'm sure like the multiplayer and such will come around the same way. Now, talking from the experience, I played, well, Netcar, I played also Assetto Corsa 1 and Assetto Corsa Competizione, and it's important to maybe share my thoughts how it was in the past, because I think the Assetto Corsa Evo will be following the same path of what Kunos did in the past, because I think personally it actually worked so far for them. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe as well. So take you just back a little bit, when Assetto Corsa 1 released as an early access or a demo, you had one car on one track, and that was basically it. You know, you could drive, you could do like a time trial, you could just drive around, and it was basically it. You could see the glimpse of like how physics is, the environment, and the game itself. It was really, really good. And a couple of months later, the whole game released as it was. With Assetto Corsa Competizione, it was a little bit different, because they released the game as an early access, which was a Lamborghini on a Nürburgring, and you could see the potential there, but obviously it was an early access, and there was a lot of like things that were like, I remember we tested it or played it, and we were like, alright, this is like interesting, let's see what's gonna happen later. Then a couple of months later, the ACC got updated, and it also got a multiplayer. And that's when you started playing it more. But it was a lot of broken, there was a lot of good things, a lot of bad things. And the developers were working on the game a lot until they did the final release. And I think it worked really well. I would say they are doing it quite alright. I think it's also important to say that Kunos has a very nice pricing for their sims as well, and the DLCs and so on, like if you compare it to some other sims, you know. So like I was having a question, for example, on the streams, how much I expect the Evo to cost, you know. I don't know. It might be $40, $50, stuff like that. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be like 100 or something, you know? Like, in the past, we learned that ACC or AC1, all the DLCs and such were quite very reasonable price compared to, let's say, like other sims as well, you know? And, well, sorry, I just got around. But yeah, so I think this is gonna be the same way coming with the Assetto Corsa Evo, that I'm not like, I'm hype obviously for Assetto Corsa Evo a lot, but for example me, I'm a very multiplayer person, you know. I'm like, there's a lot of people who play single players and they can play career and they just drive around and such. I'm personally like, I prefer to play like a multiplayer games, you know, also online multiplayer games, and same with the sim racing. I basically cannot drive alone on track, I just have to have the other people there, you know, in the multiplayer. So I'm very hyped for Assetto Corsa Evo, but at the same time, I'm very like, I'm waiting for the multiplayer basically the most, you know? So for example, what happened for me in the past was with AC1, I tested the demo, and it was really cool, and then I waited for the final release, you know? I never visited it again. The same with Assetto Corsa Competizione. I remember like first 2 days testing a little bit, released like 3 videos, and then I waited for like a couple of months to play the next version of the game. And I feel like it might be similar with the Assetto Corsa Evo. I think the single player, like 20 cars, 5 tracks, is good to try. I'm very, very curious. I cannot wait to try it. And I'm sure we're gonna play it for a few more days. And then we're gonna probably, or me personally, will probably wait for the next phase, you know, because I put a lot of hope into the multiplayer. If you're wondering why, it's because ACC, for example, you can have 100 cars or 110 cars on a track, and on the Unreal Engine, it works. Like, let's say until 80, it's very good. But like, when you go above that, like a lot of people having problems with the, like, just frame drops and stuff like that. It's very demanding on computer. But I think the Kunos engine is a little bit more friendly on this, and was in the past. So my my biggest thing is like I really put a lot of hope in the multiplayer, like not only on the contact, but the netcode and the stability of it, because when they announced the open world with the Nordschleife, like just little glimpse. I don't take the open world as something like super important in a way. I think it's gonna be really fun. I think it's gonna be great to drive, but I think we should not focus on that too much, because I think a lot of people who play AC1 or ACC and other sims, they are looking forward to drive and race, like a normal style, like formulas, GT cars, road cars, whatever. And then the open world is like an extra thing, But generally speaking, with the open world, I personally think the multiplayer has to be amazing. It must be. I think that like that's gonna be from my side, like something I will be very focused on, because that open world map, what they want to do with the Nürburgring, is gonna be huge, right? It's gonna be huge, and I think for a map like that, I think you will have to be able to handle like a server with like 200 people at least. I feel like. Without like lagging right crazy. I remember with Random Call Sign, he did like a meetup on a Nürburgring, and it had like in AC1, and it had like 100 cars. It was impossible. Like if you went like above like, I don't know, 70, 80 cars, it was lagging like crazy. It was people teleporting left and right, So I feel like I really am focused on that. I'm very, very curious how they will handle the multiplayer. We don't have any information about it as well. I was trying at the Sim Racing Expo, I was like trying to talk with the developers, and I was like, can you tell me if there's gonna be driver swap? Is there gonna be endurance racing and stuff like that? And they were dodging those questions, kind of like they obviously were very careful what to say. And I'm very, very curious how this will be handled, because I personally think if they do the open world, like as they say it's gonna be, I think 100 players is good, but it's not enough, I think. I think they have to have like at least 200 players. I need to mention today partner of the video, Cozy of Delta App, as I try to say, ultimate sim racing app for any sim racer if you are a rookie and more advanced driver. Basically, very simple plug-and-play application that you can use for sim racing, for your data, your motec, your comparison with other lap times, fuel calculation, and setups as well. Also, some of the setups from me on Assetto Corsa Competizione. So, thank you so much for partnering with this video, Coach Dave Delta. Talking it back with the early access, that's basically what I expect. I expect to get the single player, 20 cars, 5 tracks, just driving some time trial, maybe with AI a little bit, and see the environment, the weather, and some like day-night transitions. And then we're gonna be waiting probably for the next phase when they will show us the multiplayer or give us the multiplayer that we can try and do some online races. Similar with ACC, for example, when we got the multiplayer, it was basically impossible to do endurance or driver swap or anything like that at the beginning because it was not introduced yet. It was not added to the game. And I hope it's gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna be doing sprint racing, like Le Mans Ultimate right now, or 9-minute races, and then we will go for longer and bigger and so on. And then during the year, we're going to be getting updates and updates. Because I think it worked very well in the past for Assetto Corsa Competizione and AC1 as well. So I hope they will keep... I think everything looks like they're going to keep doing the same way. And I would like to know your opinion, guys. What do you expect from the AC Evo Early Access? Because I noticed with the online gaming or the gaming in general in the last 10 years, the early accesses are like very... there's a lot of questions around it, right? Because I personally think Kunos has like enough funds to... They don't need to get money from us basically for like testing stages or something. I think the early access, I take it more like a demo personally in this area. And then you have other games, for example, when they use early access for founding the whole game, they give you a bit of a glimpse what the game might be, and then you found it basically with early access subscription, and then they make the game and such, right? So I'm very, very curious how this is gonna be, because there's a lot of expectation for Assetto Corsa Evo, because Assetto Corsa Competizione was very successful. AC1, the biggest success, like it's literally the most successful sim racing game or racing game, and I really like, after talking to developers in the Sim Racing Expo and testing the AC Evo, I was pretty surprised. I did like it a lot. Personally, what I liked the most was the tire model, like the tire like coming to the wheel and how the tire felt on the track, because sometimes you have like a sim that has a very nice tire model, but it makes something unrealistic or does something unrealistic that you're like, this is good, but it's not like that, in real life. And the AC Evo was like, it felt like the tire model felt like amazing, and I'm very curious how everything else will be. I also tried the Hyundai, I tried the Alpine and so on, and some stuff was good, some stuff was not that good, so I'm curious how it's gonna be in total, There's also modding, right, coming in the future, like probably far away from now, but that's gonna be really cool, right? And I think a lot of people were also asking, like, that's one of the questions I get a lot in my streams, and people are saying, if I will swap from ACC to AC Evo instantly and basically abandon ACC, and I would like to just answer that, like, it's not a bad thing, like, let's say, a lot of people are asking, like, if the AC Evo will replace ACC, and I keep saying one thing that's, it's not a bad thing, like, what is the problem with that, right? Like, if AC Evo replaces ACC, for example, I don't see any problem in that. If it's better, and if it's, like, upgraded version of it, or better in many ways, then I don't see any problem why swapping or like upgrading basically should be a problem for me personally, It's like when you play F1 2022, then you go to F1 2023, stuff like not exactly like that, but I would say something like that. So, yeah, I also don't think that we're going to be replacing ACC within the next year. I think it's going to take longer than that, because don't forget the AC Evo is early access, and then in the summer we're going to be getting more stuff into it, and then fall 2025 will be the full release, but we obviously have to see how the game is and so on. So it either will be great addition to the sim racing for if you play iRacing, if you play, I don't know, ACC or something, it might be a great addition to have that as well. I'm personally very looking forward, because like the fall or the winter of 2024 for sim racing was amazing, right? We got a massive update for Automobilista, we got great update for Le Mans Ultimate, really nice updates for iRacing as well, Race Room and so on. And now we're gonna be getting another sim to play with, at least in the early stages, and we can see where it's gonna go. And I can't wait, guys. I can't wait. Just, I don't know if I probably haven't covered nearly anything I wanted to talk about, but I'm looking forward. I'm very looking forward, guys. That's, like, I guess we gotta find out next week, guys. I can't wait. We gotta find out. Because, like, for me personally, I think we're just gonna try. We're gonna see if it's good or bad. We will see if it's potential or not potential. I personally think it's gonna be potential, like, because I already tested it at Sim Expo, right? So I think I know that there's gonna be that potential, and then I will be just waiting for the next step. Because for me personally, what is the most important about a sim? Force feedback, tire model, and multiplayer. Because like for me, the netcode and stuff like that is like, I play sim racing for 20 years, guys. And the netcode is like so important in a sim racing, and like the whole thing, like not only what the car does on track with the netcode, but how the netcode impacts what is happening when you touch the other car, like the collision model and stuff. So I'm looking forward. I really like, for me, personally, one of the biggest things I actually expect from AC Evo is the netcode, like the multiplayer, the whole multiplayer. Because that's one of the things that was missing in AC1 a bit, and in ACC as well, that like they had a lot of good things in terms of like a tire model and stuff like that, and the multiplayer was good as well, but the collision and the multiplayer and the netcode and stuff could have been much better handled, So, guys, thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments what do you think. What is your expectations for Assetto Corsa Evo? I'm not sure about the cars that gonna be exactly in a thing. We obviously know the tracks that gonna be in a demo or in early access. Like Laguna Seca, Brands Edge, Mount Panorama, and stuff like that. So really cool tracks, and more to come. And then obviously in the future, I don't know how long from now, but I think it's gonna be after the release. There might be as well modding coming in, or will be the modding coming in, so I think it's gonna be really, really cool after that. And I personally can't wait, guys. I can't wait because basically Kunos games have been part of my life for a very long time. And I think it's gonna be great, like combining like iRacing, Le Mans Ultimate, for example, and this, or Automobilista and this. So yeah, guys, leave a like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.